Good morning, everybody. We want to welcome you to the NJB Officials Clinic for today. It's a good turnout. We're excited to be here. You have some great clinicians and people running this group, and I'm going to introduce those people to you and get going, try to make this interesting for you. So let me introduce the people that run this. John will speak to you later, works for NJB, runs the clinic. Al Hackney and Gino Osborne and myself, I'm Bill Agopian, will run the clinic for you today. You'll hear from Al shortly and from Gino and then from John. We'll do a bunch of things today. We'll do some administrative stuff. Our focus is the referee business. So fingerprinting and all that stuff is important. And I think that those are things that give NJB, which is a volunteer organization, a sense of peace and the fact that it is a group that checks and double checks, and that's important for you to know. In terms of training our officials, some of you know that I'm affiliated with the CIF Southern Section that governs high school sports. I'm the officials consultant for the Southern Section. In that role, I work with the 12 high school basketball officials groups that go from Santa Barbara through San Clemente. And I affiliate with one other group, and the commissioner allows me to do that, and that's NJB. And I do that for a reason, because NJB is a great organization. They do a lot of excellent things. They are ahead, NJB is ahead of many of our officials units, especially in a couple of things. One is accountability, and number two is evaluation. I've been an NJB evaluator, I think, for about 7 years. Some of you will probably see me this year. I used to evaluate the poor officials that had the unfortunate duty of refereeing my son's game as he grew up. He's now a freshman at Foothill High School, but all of the NJB games that he played in, I usually did an evaluation of the ref, but I was very impartial. And my style is not to go in there and bang anybody on the head. It's to help you get better. And that's the philosophy of NJB. We want you to be better. How do you get better? Why do you have to get better? All those things are important. And it's important because officiating on every level is different in one way and for one word. And it's because of accountability. Everybody, everywhere, has a video camera, has some kind of process of looking at what you do, filming what you do, and those things are sent everywhere. If you don't believe me, do what you guys do and my son does. You know, go to that YouTube thing and look up things about referees. Everything from referees getting run over to referees missing calls. Officials are always in the news. Some of you know that the NBA came back off the strike. They're in the news. Some of you know that the Southeast Conference last week suspended a crew because of errors in a game. Officiating has become different in many, many, many ways. We want it to be fun for you, but we also want you to know there's certain things that are expected. Appearance is very important. So I'm going to hit a few things here. One is, I mentioned my CIF duties, and the duties of the CIF, I oftentimes am called on to review game films and review complaints of schools. And I'm going to ask a question. The question is, schools register complaints more often about the officials missing a call or the official's attitude. Missing a call or attitude. Anybody can answer. Attitude. 99% of the time. Attitude. So how can you address that? I want to give you a solution. I just don't want to point out problems. The solution is you think of yourself as a game administrator and somebody who's there to work in a customer service mentality. So develop a customer service mentality. Your words are always measured. A common complaint that we hear is officials using profanity. Never use profanity. Nobody will ever defend you. Nobody will ever defend you. You do something administratively wrong, it's hard to defend you. You use profanity, they'll never defend you. If you're in position and you miss a charge or a block, nobody cares. That's a judgment type of call. If you're in the right position, we'll always defend you. So think of courtesy. The other thing I see a lot of is non-hustle. So we want you to move on the floor. You don't have to be Johnny Rocket and get all over the place. But you do have to cross half court. You do have to cross half court, especially if you're going to make a call on the front court. So another problem I see is people standing the free throw line in the back court and calling something in the front court. I don't care what happens in the front court. If you're standing in the back court, and there are times you need to be in the back court, that's not your call. There's no way you have no credibility making that call. The solution, I told you I'd give you a solution, get into the front court. So hustle, get to where you need to be. I talked about the customer service mentality, and that's hard to do. You know, I'm still on the court in high school basketball, I'm on the field as a Division I football official, and there are times when, you just kind of reach a point where I don't want to hear any more of this stuff. Solution, there's a way to address that. In NJB, you have the blue card, you have other processes to do that, and you always have a technical foul and things you can do to administer the game. If you lose your cool, that affects the game, the players, everywhere. So don't confuse. One thing that helped me was someone taught me, don't confuse the actions of the bench or the players with players on the bench with the players on the floor. So keep those things separate. Don't punish the players on the floor because of what the coach is doing. So keep your cool, customer service attitude. Those are the things that I think will help you. And then one last